Greetings, fellow prospectors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 37, Finding Myself in a Territory Dispute. As you can see above my head, and my plan is to try to earn more company script and money as an insurance policy against future loss. And what that means is, in order to go to battle, I'm going to need to buy munitions, make repairs, buy fuel and docking costs. I mean, there's a lot of associated costs, essentially, with doing war in the belt. And as I had shown you, really the only way to make money here in the asteroid belt is to mine. Because there's not really a market for ship parts. And salvaging ships don't really make you any money. So I'm not going to be able to pay the day-to-day fuel bills if I don't get mining. Now, what I intend to do is do my mining in potential conflict zones where things could get spicy, and that's going to be on purpose. So, like, I'm obviously going to do some spicy land claims. Now, right now, I'm in the middle of the conflict zone, right? Like, I'm dead set in the middle, more or less. But my plan is to do some mining around here in order to build up, like, war funds. You think there's war funds? Because once I have a little bit more funds, because I don't have a lot of money right now. My finances in-game are pretty bad, and my script is basically zeroed as we bought those decoy launchers, and that more or less bankrupted us. So, doing a little bit more mining around here, doing a little bit of salvage, and then hunting, and really mostly self-defense. I mean, truly the plan is to, like, defend ourselves from any threats. So that is what we're picking up. But as I make more money, I intend to, take more risks. Not foolish ones, necessarily. And I guess, yeah, a war chest, exactly. And cheers, by the way. I guess that brings me to sort of like, issue makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but a point of contention or something of a series like this one that is continued by popular vote, which is, I don't know when it's going to end, and if it was up to me, I would try to have it crescendo to some sort of climax, but like, it continues. It's put up to vote to continue, for better or for worse, after I finish streaming, so I can never really plan for the last episode. I'm not saying it's coming. If there's collective will for me to continue playing, I am happy to do that. And in fact, as I previously stated, we're getting a 1.0 version in just about a month. And part of the other things I wanted to talk about while I strip this ship for parts and make for port to go back to Calico Station to sell what I have to free up some room and then to continue mining. One of the major things they intend to add in the upcoming update is a bounty system. So I know I've done a really poor job at demonstrating the gigs kiosk and the gig system in the game, but more or less, the gigs system in this game is like you running either errands or acting as a private investigator. You're either trying to deliver some item to someone somewhere, or as a private investigator trying to like take a photo of someone, or trying to investigate a death. Basically a PI, right? And it's not that it's uncompelling, but in my experience, and probably the experience of many of you as well. Oh, you know what? I'm going to switch these aux bottles. I did find anecdotally, in all of the attempts of me ever trying to do the gig system in the past, a lot of the times they just fall through. A lot of the times you run the errands, and then like you can't find the person you're trying to take a photo of. Like they don't exist. They like died in a ship crash, or they just are like absent. You might need to use console mode to add them back into the game. It was messy. It was, I mean, maybe I was doing it wrong, but I fundamentally thought that it was a buggy part of the game. And like really honestly not worth showcasing as a result, because it was just kind of disappointing at best. And it's a game I love, and I will often try to turn a blind eye to the features of games that bother me to try to show the game in the best possible light, not to lie, not to deceive you about the quality of the game, but to show the best parts, because they're, you know, not every game is amazing, and I can't think of a game that I don't have some sort of gripe with. There's problems with every game, even the best of games. Now, what I'm trying to say, back on point, is one of the major features of the 1.0 release is a bounty system, where you act as a bounty hunter instead of an errand boy or a private investigator. And I could be wrong, this is purely speculation, but I imagine if a bounty system exists, a lot of the current issues with ship-to-ship combat will likely have to be resolved as a consequence. So I hadn't actually showed you what it's like when you try to initiate combat with a ship that is not trying to fight you back, right? So if another ship in this game tries to fight me, I am at their mercy. I can't get away. I can't kick my ship into 20 Gs and fly out of this solar system like I'm some sort of manhole exploded by a nuclear device, right? Like, it's not something my character could survive, not even if I was fit, healthy, injected with grav juice, sitting down with compression pants. It wouldn't matter. The NPCs can pull maneuvers that are unsurvivable to the player. And the reason I mention this is if there is going to be a bounty hunting system, I suspect a lot of those issues will have to be resolved, because I can't imagine trying to hunt a ship that is essentially unhuntable, that it can just zoom away at light speed, outpacing your missiles, because that makes for horrible gameplay. So I don't imagine it will be like that. So a lot of my feeling is that the Fire in the Hold update was about introducing fire mechanics, obviously, fire in the hold, and ship weapon mechanics, but without it being fully fleshed out. Like, it's, you know, and I'm hoping the bounty system, you know, lends itself to more stable combat, because as much as I can try to showcase combat and bushwhack enemy pilots and like plan accordingly and compensate for NPCs that don't abide by the laws of physics, I can't say it's necessarily compelling to try to fight other ships right now if they're not also trying to fight me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if I and maybe I'll have a chance to demonstrate this in the near future in the belt, but basically if I try to like open fire on a Ceres extraction mining ship, they're going to probably, in 9 out of 10 cases, turn roughly towards Ceres station, the station that's like southwest of me or whatever, and then go like 30 Gs, ignoring all physics and passing through asteroids to zoom away from me faster than my railgun munitions can even travel. So, ballistic speed. That's essentially what happens now, unless they are like a police boat or something like I fought, where they're actually not a NPC and they're looking to fight. That's what you should come to expect in the ship-to-ship combat, is like they zoom away like you're, you know, trying to bottle a ferry or something. I mean, it's nigh impossible. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically not moving right now. I'm going to deploy a beacon in this area to claim the asteroids in this area. The proximity sensor is most likely warning me that I'm like next to my beacon. And yeah, I mean, that seems to be the case. I'm going to slowly drift away from this thing. There we go. I'm not really moving very fast compared to the background asteroid belt, so it's not like I'm going to crash into anything. Before I go and dolly up all the items I just uninstalled, one thing I wanted to do is to take a quick gander at who's around me. So here's a Ceres extraction miner. my LiDAR and radar are not detecting that it's a weapon systems ship. Oh, for reference, and I tried to look this up, the difference of LiDAR and radar in the game. Let me try to get the accurate description now. So as I'm sure you probably have been able to tell, the more sensors you add, the more information you get, and the more information you get, the more actionable it becomes. So infrared detects heat sources like batteries or people or meat or whatever, without spoiling too much. And then the other sensors that we have, radar is a long-range sensor which displays the crew aboard the target and the ship's interior. So the radar, and what I could do is I could turn off these radar and LiDAR one at a time to show you. But radar is essentially giving me the crew number and the layout of the ship. And with the layout of the ship, if you're really familiar with what the ship looks like, it's very difficult to like aim your weapons accurately enough to hit its like critical points, but like you could try. Whereas LiDAR gives you the thrusters and whether it has a reactor or not. So 10 thrusters and a reactor on this ship, and basically everything inside of the asteroid belt is going to have reactors. Because of the distances required to travel, it doesn't really make sense to try to do it on nitrogen gas thrusters. It would be absurd. Optical actually lets you see the thing. IR gives you like heat readings, and EM is it's electromagnetic imaging, like whether they have active power running through them or not. That would be the TLDR. Okay, one more thing I wanted to do before I start hoovering up all that loot, not that I will be able to sell it very well, but, you know, I'm going to get it all the same, is do a quick assessment of, am I safe here? Right? Because there's other ships around, lurking. So here's one that is unknown who it belongs to. It has 2 crew, point defense, coil guns, thrusters. It could be Ceres, it could be pirates, it could be Galfed, I don't know. The ones that I have tagged green. So, in fact, I'm going to tag this one because I know it's Ceres Extraction as hostile. Now, it can't really do anything to me. It doesn't have weapon systems. And if I tried to engage it, as I just said, it would zoom away at, like, light speed. But, you know, I wanted to do a quick assessment if I was in danger where I am. So here's another 1 coil gun, PDC's crew. And a lot of these are probably just miners minding their own business, not looking to get into any sort of feud. So I don't think I'm in immediate... Where I am now, I don't think anyone's coming to, like, murder me. So I'm going to tend to my needs. I'm going to do a little eating, do a little freshening up. And then try to grab as much of this stuff as possible because, I mean, I don't mind mining. I actually find it kind of interesting in a peaceful, sort of meditative, collecting resources type of way. A lot of games obviously have like resource grind, so I don't really mind the like mining in this one. But I also totally get that, you know, I want to try to make try to, you know, pay for the bills as painlessly as possible, so to speak. God, I always do that. Try to rotate the ship, not the item. Now, I really never truly wanted the reactor room to be a loot room. But there's enough stuff on this boat here that I don't have much of a choice. And obviously I'm going to be totally full up by the time I grab everything. And a lot of this stuff also needs restoration. They're not in the best condition. And then there's also the, and obviously it hasn't, you know, it occurred to me that there's a lot of value in the actual mobile light pieces that I'm choosing to ignore. Because I just figure I'll probably end up in another ship-to-ship combat well before I need to, you know, being able to salvage more mobile light before I before too long. All right, visor. Okay, my price is here. I'll try for the transponder. I'm fairly certain it's just gonna break. It'd be kind of neat if there was like a bounty. Yeah, it's damaged. It'd be kind of neat if there was a bounty system for the transponder, where like you could bring back Ceres transponders back to Galfed as like proof of kill. Of course, they would need, if that was a thing, they would need to make the transponder guaranteed to survive in ship-to-ship combat, which might be a little weird. So I kind of get that that isn't a thing. But if there was some sort of like trophy as proof of kill, or I don't know, something like that, that would be a neat feature. All right. Everything I want off this place is pulled, I think. We do have belt pirates with a coil gun and PD. So it is belters. And there's almost no cross velocity between me and them, but they are traveling at me at 1.4 kilometers per second, which is like scary fast. So I'm not really sure what they're intending to do here, but I think what I'm going to do is pre-combat, I'm going to save just in case. Because the other save I have is from like last week. And I don't know if, depending on how this engagement goes, if this is like a salvageable thing or not. But, well, we'll see. So, knowing that there's Belter Pirates on me, I'm going to go Orange Light. Not full-on red lights yet. And Frostlight, and Glitch, and Eliminate, and Highland Timber, and Madsen. Thank you for the resubs and the cheer. Alright, so first thing we need to do is undock from this wreck. Because I can't really fight anyone docked to anything. So, Hail... You undock. Oh, I secured the towing brace. Ah, well, that's going to be a problem because releasing the towing brace is going to take a minute. I forgot about that. Because, right, it was drifting hard and I needed to slow it down. Yeah, that's an intercept course if I've ever seen one. Alright, I think what I want to do is use my nitrogen gas to keep the debris here, this other belt pirate destroyed ship, which I'll mark as hostile, between me and them, backing up but keeping my guns pointed their way. I'm like fairly certain they're coming towards me, and even if they're not, I intend to engage. So a little reminder before this happens. I've got coil guns on 1, rail guns on 2. I've got lots of ammo for them. This enemy ship I don't believe will have any missiles, given its size, shape, and loadout. But I do have decoy launchers on 9, just in case. I don't think it will come to that, though. I'm also going to toggle power on the switch, close the door, and pick up the katanas. No, close the door, like, with you in it, bud. Doesn't have power. Oh, right. I need to... I hate when it, like, opens the door and... Close. Okay. Pick up katana. And I'm going to drag this one inside my bathroom as a poop knife for any fellow Redditor. And then grab this one as well. I don't want there to be, like, katanas on the ground. Toggling power. Front door is locked and closed. I'm going to keep my helmet on because I don't know if I'm going to depressurize. there's a non-zero chance that I will lose cabin pressure and stuff like that, so I don't want to be in a situation where that happens. Now I'm going to get a target lock on the Nothing to Lose is the name of this hostile ship. I do have railguns, and they do not have railguns, so I will be able to engage them before they can engage me. The thing that I'm at a disadvantage of, which I'm remedying to try to fix now, is they're accelerating really, really, really quickly towards me, which means they're going to be inside their coil gun range pretty quickly. But I do already have them on target lock. I know we're on vision lock. And I would say now is about time I go red. Whoa, that's dark. I like it. Right on the deck. Okay, they're about to be in range of the railguns, and then I have a short window where I can shoot them, they can't shoot me. And I intend to capitalize on that bigly, if that was a word. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep them nice and centered in my reticle here. My railguns are ready and on auto. I'm gonna guess, oops, I didn't mean to do that, that the physical stuff between us and them is keeping me from... Oh no, I'm already firing. Cool. And I have times on quite slow right now. Ooh, yup, actually, I think I just broke their coil gun. So this is the front of their ship, and I suspect this section is their coil gun. So I've actually just disarmed them. So, nothing to lose? False. You had a coil gun to lose, and you've lost it. I'm narrowing my shot band, and just released another rail. And I cannot believe that's where I hit. I mean, that is a insane first shot, disabling the enemy vessel. I basically just hit it in the same spot again. But they should be teethless. Now, here's the thing. I really would love their PTC, their point defense cannons system. Because I don't have one of those yet. And taking them off of a dead ship is way more glorious than me, like, buying one. And it looks like we hit the other side. Now, if I do break it, but it's not totally destroyed, I'll be able to salvage it. They're about to be inside of my coil gun range too. And then they're going to be locked and getting shot ×3, not ×1. I think I took out a thruster in that shot. And now, as you can see, the coil guns are resolving target and auto-firing. And I'm not really firing. I'm letting auto do auto. The manual fire is useful if you want to try to fire beyond the target lock range. Which isn't something I felt like I needed to do in this fight because I had greater range than they did. One of my last shots, I think, went through their entire ship. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they had a reactor, right? I don't think they do anymore. Oh, maybe they didn't have a reactor. Okay, the point defense cannons got smushed. I think they're going in. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to drop target lock. They're decelerating, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to board them if they're stationary. So I know they're braking to try to board me or whatever. I'm going to go get my carbine. In fact, I should not have had my carbine out here anyway. That was straight up stupid. So, regardless, I'm grabbing my carbine so that I can fight boarders now. I'm grabbing real bullets. I'm grabbing fake bullets. I'm just going to call them fake bullets. They're not. They're less lethal bullets, but whatever. I'm calling them fakes. Alright, visor, give me mass. I don't want shadows. Well, I could hit F1 to get rid of shadows entirely, but I really don't like that mode. I feel like it's jarring on the eyes. Alright, so I've got a gun, I've got ammo, I've got 60 rounds. Oh no. I somehow didn't pick up that stack, even though I said pick up that stack. Let me try again. Okay. 60 rounds, 30 of less lethal, 30 of full metal jacket. These belter pirates seem to be accelerating. You know what? I'm target locking them again. And I am going to start to accelerate towards them. I don't want them to get away. I do have to be judicious about my nitrogen gas. However, I know the other derelict here. Yep, okay, they have 2 crew, 6 thrusters. They're getting banged up. The other derelict here has nitrogen gas tanks that I could use. Soon they will be without thrust and at my mercy. I just wish I didn't have to bust them up like this. Alright, thruster 0. They are no longer moving. I'm going to unlock. Try to match speed. Oh. Which way are you going? Okay, I'm there in 12 minutes. So I'm going to get a little closer. Be very careful about, again, my nitrogen gas, because I know I don't have a lot of it. There we go. So we're moving 150 meters a second towards them. They're disabled, spinning and floating, and getting a quick glance at what's going on. This is a Galfed ship. It's now been resolved on my radar, the OSSM, and they're friendly. This one is a Ceres, and this one could be a real problem. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be heading my way. Their velocity and cross velocity doesn't indicate necessarily it's heading my way. Except for, here, let's go to target mode. It does seem to be possibly coming towards me, and it's got launchers, coil guns, and crew. They've got some muscle. So they might be here to muscle me out as a result of dropping this asteroid claim. So this is a threat, and I might need to zoom away as a result. We'll see. Whirling, thank you for the resub. Cheers. And cheers, Roy. So definitely keeping my eye on them. Let's go down to orange rather than red. And then zoom back in on what we're doing. So these guys are, I'll accelerate a little bit more towards them to close the gap, because it might come down to, like, time. And I also have to avoid the Q4BS in the way. Now, if they are heading towards me, they're here in 41 minutes. That's their ETA at current speeds. And the Awesome is possibly heading my way at here at 27 minutes. They don't look like a police boat with 1 coil gun and 1 PDC. I don't think that it's likely a mining ship. This is likely a mining ship. This is definitely some sort of police enforcement ship. And what I'm hoping to do is, like, board this, grab the whatever there is of value, and then get gone before I get forced out. Because I don't, without missiles, I don't see myself winning an easy fight against the G48D. It's not worth it. I don't have storage for very much more. So I want to be gone before that engagement. I'm going to accelerate a little bit more. Time is of the essence. And I'm going to do a quick save, which is boarding kill, in case I have to save scum. I hope not, but in case. So, 2 minutes. We're not going to hit the Q4BS. We're just flying past it. They're maybe picking up speed towards me. Their ETA is changing, quite possibly as a result of accelerating towards me. So, noted. That's why I have all these saves. It's really too bad I can't, like, radio my own people to be like, hey, I need backup or something. I mean, they're not my people. I'm just like a independent contractor, let's say, who has some sort of like clout with Galfed, but still, it'd be a neat feature. So I'm gonna turn 180 degrees bearing to target so I can slam on the drive, you know, the fusion, the torch drive to slow down, because it's a very quick maneuver here. So I'm 5 kilometers away and decelerating. There we go. Now I'm moving at less than 100 kilometers meters a second, rather. I'm going to accelerate a little bit more. I'm going to slow down time. Adjust the cross velocity. Oh, lower my thrust. Change the bearing, and then force a dock. Before I do that, this is another Ceres extraction. 20 minutes and 43 minutes. Oh, maybe I mixed them up. God, where is Galfed in this area? Like, what the hell? All right, hail ship. You initiate forced docking procedure. I have nothing to talk to about the Belt Pirates. And here is the forced docking. Lamped. Yeah, if I could call my side, they'd likely respond, you're right. Are you crazy? You're in the middle of the conflict zone. What are you doing? Something akin to that. So it looks like radar and LiDAR survived. The point defense and coil guns went poof, as one might expect. They have a Hydra. I mean, we've seen this boat layout before. All right, down to 1 speed. I'm going to toggle on power and then try to make it to the door before they do. They don't seem overly concerned that an armed, and I know we're drifting. Don't worry, I'm aware. They don't seem to care about anything right now, which is interesting. I am going to fire. It's going to be more destructive to their stuff, but I'm going to get out of here quickly. There goes a coffee machine. Sorry, all coffee lovers everywhere. There goes their nav. But, you know, I don't care. All right, and they're down to skivvies. Burst firing the other one. Offering surrender. You know, but you came to kill me, so I don't care. I don't see no Geneva. All right. They are definitely dead. They might not be dead right at this moment, but there's not a situation where they survive this. I'm gonna go back to alarm colors off. I'm gonna grab their I don't even know if they have PDAs. Visor price. So let's go for the Hydra and the radar lidar and then just bounce. What? Why does it feel like I'm still targeting the dude? I don't know. I like how they have alarms like, oh yeah, you're depressurizing. It's like, Get some N2 tanks? I have enough N2 to, like, make it home. So I'm not gonna worry about that. I don't think it will come to a head. I think we'll be fine. I think I might have somehow broke their PDAs in this combat process. Noted. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Pick up the radar. I literally don't have anywhere to put the radar. I'm thinking maybe right here, if I could pick up this other stuff. Here we go. And LiDAR. The dolly is empty. Not everything can be dollied, though. It's worth noting. Radar and LiDAR might be able to, but I know, like, ship parts and things, like, just can't be dollied. Oh, because there was ammo here. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, oversized doesn't fit. Sadness. Is this oversized? No, it doesn't seem to be oversized. So yeah, I could have put that on the dolly. If it was on the dolly, however, and not that this is a problem, I wouldn't be able to restore it because I would have to unnest it. But, you know, well, regardless. Okay, I have been tumbling in space. I'm only docked with this place. It looks like this craft is not coming towards me, but this one might be. I want to get out of here. This looks like a warboat, obviously. So, switch, hail ship. The one I'm docked with, undock. Now, I don't remember what my faction ties were, but I have a feeling like murdering those pirates made the Galfed super duper happy. Because I was never more positive in the Galfed than I was negative with Ceres extraction. So I think Galfed was like, thank you, in a big, big, big way. Which is cool. Alright, before I do any other maneuvers, I want to close this door, because when I power it back on, it, like, just opens. And I want it... No, can you... Okay, there it goes. That way I can have, like, a lockout. Take off my helmet, because I'm in an oxygenated environment. I'm not actively being fired on, at least not at the moment. What are you doing? Use. Seems like one of them is tracking me? Maybe. I'm not on anyone's lock at the moment, though. So I've disconnected from... Oh, what are you? Belt pirates. Okay. I don't care about that. What I'm going to be doing now is heading back to port to sell stuff. And let me update the priority. Head back to Calico Station to sell booty. I guess, really. I mean, I killed pirates, it's booty, right? Loot and scoot. That is the vibes. I might go ahead and take thruster and gauge off. Little extra G's isn't going to kill me as long as I am sane about it. And then, let's see. I am going to maybe go on a direct path to Ceres. And just, like, try to daintily avoid any collisions on the way. So let's go ahead and get like a direct bearing, more or less, and start accelerating there at like, oh, too much. At like, you know, actually, I'm going to do a little bit of a southern approach because I don't want to get any closer to that gunboat. Oh, you know what? This ship just shot something at me. I'm using my decoys, and I'm opening up the engines. All right, they missed. I think what they're doing is like no target lock firing. We should be on red. No target lock firing mass drivers at me. And this ship is a Ceres resource extraction, which doesn't have a lot. So the reason why I'm not engaging this, if you're wondering, it should be obvious to many, is they're backed up by a gunboat. So I could probably take this ship out, no problem, but I can't take out the other one. So I'm scooting before I have to take out the other one. Plus, I'm like kind of all out of decoys. I only have 2 left on either launcher. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow astronauts.